what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another NFL Weekly Review. Again, this is something where the folks at Sports Ruckus, the folks at Mom on Sports, usually four of us take some time coming together, talk about the past week in NFL in terms of what happened with our respective teams, and then take a look ahead at the entire week in its totality, because otherwise, when we spoke about each and every game, we'd be here for a while. And, some folks have kids, wives, and that is not feasible. It's not feasible. And that's a lot of talking, and nobody's trying to do all of that at all.
I don't have that much water with me to even do all of that. So,
man, I got a bottle of ginger ale right next to me, right as we speak. Pouring shots of ginger ale throughout this whole thing.
sip, one sip. Keep it for the rest of the show. You good,
man? That's it. All right. So I guess with you, man, it's just us two. So where do you want to start in terms of respective teams? I'm gonna let you pick.
We can go ahead. We can start with Bears and Panthers. That's fine. I'm bearing down right now, so we can go ahead.
Good? Oh, okay. That's why I want to ask. Check your temperature, if you will, on that. See where you at with it. Huh? Interesting. So now it's bear down and whatnot. Huh?
Bear down, yeah, man. You 5-1, you got to take it for what it is right now. Okay. Ride the wave, like I've been saying, man. Ride the wave. So it was an interesting game. So it's another ugly win for the Bears. They now win. They're in first in the division, which is a great feeling. But there are definitely some things they still need to kind of clean up, man. Some coaching calls with Nagy, I'm still kind of questioning. But the defense, man, like I'm impressed with the defense. I know they give up a lot of yards. I get it. But they don't give up touchdowns. And that's key.
Right.
And we just have to be able to score on top of that. And this week they took care of business the way they needed to. We got in the end zone we needed to. There was a couple, bobble plays that I'm going to do. We gotta get those first downs. But then at the same time, throwing the ball on 3rd and 2, Nagy did that a few times, man, when just like you gotta be able to run the ball. I know a lot of people put a lot of grief on David Montgomery, but I honestly really think that it's not him. If you look at the offensive line play, there is no push on run plays. I just sat there and just rewatched this game, and offensive line on run plays is terrible, and that's not going to get it done, man. You're not going to be able to get far in this league with the offensive line playing the way that it is. So they got to clean that up. They got to give Montgomery some opportunity back there. But when he does have a chance to get the ball and actually make some moves, it works out. So I like what he is able to do. Just want to be able to see more. Just can't do it behind that line. But back to the defense, though, man. I just shout out to them, man, because they were on top of it this week, man. Mac looks good right now. Roquan Smith, shout out to him, man, leading the team in tackles right now. He's playing that sideline game real well right now. So I'm kind of excited. I don't want to get overexcited just because, like I said, there's a few things I'm looking at where I know we're in first, but looking at the Green Bay team, it's a complete difference across state lines of what we're looking at compared to the Bears offensively. And as we all know, this is an offensive league, especially now. So you got to be able to put up points. So, shout out to them. They got the win, 23-16 over Carolina. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna ride the wave.
Yeah, it's always a good thing, watching your defense come out and go to work. I know you mentioned Green Bay. At the same time, y'all got kind of there's a recipe for dealing with Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
And Tampa Bay had the ingredients for that this weekend. One of the things you guys do have the ingredients for that. Yeah. Now, in terms of your offense capitalizing on it, it's hard for your defense to go win it all by themselves, but you're going to be in that game unless you put yourself out of it because you have the ingredients to bother them.
Right.
Things Green Bay just doesn't deal. They don't like certain things. You guys have the things that kind of bother them. A team with a strong pass rush. If you can rush 4, drop and do your job, you can bother Green Bay a little bit. And if you do blitz and you get home, you'll be fine. Again, most of those things happen. You either do it by committee or you have one of those special guys off the edge. You guys have one of those. And this is kind of the great part. Are you talking about with kind of like the growth of Roquan? He's not quite there yet, but he's on his way. And so those are 2 very special pieces in your front 7. One obviously in their prime, in control of all their superpowers, and one still trying to figure out when to use which.
Right.
It's still a good situation. The biggest thing is what I like, Jordan. The offense didn't mess it up. right? We've seen a lot of times this season where defenses for teams come out and they do their job, right? Like, I don't know a better way to put it, but like.
But it's a fact, though. That's what it is. They did not mess it up.
Defense would come out, man. I mean, lights out. The offense be like, here, other team take the ball. Here's another crack at our defense. Yeah, they don't need 5 minutes to rest. Here, go back out there. It's been 30 seconds, and just over time, a defense wears down. You can't ask the defense hold up forever. But I liked, when you guys are usually good, that defense is kind of like it's kind of the tip of the spear for you guys. The offense kind of, follows along. So it's good to see where that's at. You cool with Foles right now?
So I have more confidence in Foles at the quarterback position. Mm-hmm. There's still some plays that we can't make at that position, though, that I'm just like, dude, neither one of these options are it not to get to that next level. And we've seen the quarterback play across the league, and Foles is not on the same level as some of these playoff winning quarterbacks. Can he manage a game for you? Sure, he absolutely can. Will he turn the ball over? No. Will he make the big play? Not all the time. So I heard something earlier today where, and it made a lot of sense. You got to hope that he hits that hot streak right on time. Because if he hits that hot streak right on time, then the Bears are going to be dangerous. And I think that it takes some pressure off the defense as well. Just real quick, man, just to pop back over on the defensive side of the ball, I gotta definitely shout out North Carolina Panthers and their receiving corps because they made some plays, man. Robbie Anderson made some plays on Sunday, man. Like diving catches, we made him look like a Hall of Famer. I was like, dude, like what's really going on right now?
My man been on the Jets, trapped.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He's free. He's free now, so he's like, man, I'm feeling it, man. And he looks good, man. Like I was looking at Robbie Anderson like, man, okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you want. I'm with it. I couldn't even get mad at it, man.
Hey, look, he's free. He just did a bid. He's not trying to go back. All right. That's for Jets players. And if you don't like it, Jets fans, I'm not telling a lie. It's the truth.
They know it.
You got Warden Gase over there. And I don't know who's running what, but nothing's going in the right direction.
Not at all.
But yeah, so congrats, you guys moving on 5-1 out here handling the pandemic season pretty well. How about that? Right. How about that? Let's go over to my struggle bus of a team. Get you guys started. Struggle bus. Shout out to the pandemic. So what'd you say?
I didn't say nothing. Go ahead, man. You got it.
My struggle bus Niners out here taking on the Rams this past week, man. I think, the offensive line had a good game. I think it's kind of one of those things where I'm not going to get too excited about this. It's a division game, right? Two teams that know each other. Yeah. You got two coaches who are extremely familiar with each other, literally run a similar freaking system. Just, there's fine details in terms of who likes what more out of their systems and the way they go about it. But it's essentially the same thing, right?
Right.
I think this was just one of those things where I think with the O-line, obviously that's one of the areas when you don't have continuity, it's going to struggle a little bit, right? That's not to excuse them for how poorly they've played thus far this season. Some of the criticism that they've got is beyond warranted. They deserve a lot of it. Some simple things, I don't care if you don't know each other, but simple things like miscommunications and, allowing free runners when, it's a numbers game up front. And if it's even numbers and you're allowing free runners, that's on y'all. I don't care if you know each other or not. Too many vets up there. You got to help. There's one young guy up there. You got to help the one young guy out. That's uncalled for. Obviously, the game plan in this one was to keep everything away from Aaron Donald. That's essentially what the plan was, right? There's nothing more to it. I saw some folks about people like, Kyle's hiding Jimmy, all this other stuff. Bro, like, I need y'all to just accept at one point in time, like I've accepted it too. This offense, as long as I think Jimmy's under center, this offense is not going to be the Matt Ryan play action, take deep shot offense. Right. This is not what it's going to be. It is an all yak everything offense. There will be times that you take shots. If they hit them, they hit them. But at the same time, Atlanta didn't have the capability that these guys have, which is they use an end around and it's a legit weapon. It's not just something fun to do. You know, some people, you know, it's a wrinkle.
Yeah.
It's literally a staple. It's just another part of their run game. So that's one of the things where I've just come to accept it. It's all yak everything. The quarterback's comfortable, most comfortable in between the hashes. That's what it's going to be. It's delivering the ball on time and getting the ball in the hands of your playmakers and letting them do all the work. Like, it's not going to be some pretty thing where you drop back. He uncorks this beautiful 57-yard pass with 50 yards of the 57-yard passes all in the air. That's not happening here. It's not going to happen. It's, let it go. If the 57-yard pass, it might have been a 6-yard pass in the air. All right? It's catch and run. Just accept it. This is where we're at in life. This is what it is. There's going to be some deep shots here and there, but I was more intrigued with the defense. You know, against Miami, Brian Allen, the poor man, had no business out there. And Miami was like, oh, yeah, we're going after you. That's food. Right. And they went after him, got a nice lead. They took him out, and then things kind of settled down. This game, you know, Emmanuel Mosley comes back. He was a starting corner for much of the year. Him and Spoon were rotating last year, but E-Man's deserved his job. He's out there. Jason Veret starting to look like Jason Veret that got drafted out of TCU way back when. You know, people were excited about this guy, and those two together, it kind of took away most of the passing options. The team's still struggling to rush the passer because, again, the team was built, you know, over the years. They don't have an issue in between the tackles. They got beef inside. They got more than enough. There's no edge depth, and that's what we're seeing this year, where you got to blitz a little bit more. You know, last year with Bosa healthy, you know, Ford was in and out, but Bosa was healthy. You could get away with, you know, blitzing on third here and there, doing some different things. You know, played a lot of zone last year because Sherm was on the field. With Sherm not on the field, you're not going to play as much zone because, honestly, he's the only really true, like, super zone corner on the team. And the thing is, if he's one of your better players, you're gonna cater more towards, you put your best players in best position, do what they need to do. Some of the younger guys are not that great at zone, but one of the reasons things were a little bit tighter this game, they played a lot more man. You can play a lot more man with Veret and Mo's out there. You know, you can play some man with Spoon too. Spoon got some issues to go through, but that's what they were just able to get away with. You got 2 decent safeties, and you got Jamar Taylor, which he's horrible, but it is what it is. It's better than Brian Allen being out there, because a week before he had Brian Allen and Jamar Taylor. Yeah. And I think Jamar Taylor's on borrowed time. They picked up Parnell Motley. He's somebody I loved leading up to the draft last year out of Oklahoma. He was in Tampa Bay for training camp, was doing good for whatever reason. They didn't keep him. They just picked him up. I fully expect him. And that's another guy who's kind of more of a man-to-man corner as well. I'm not saying they're going full man. They still play zone, but the coverages, there's more diversity in the coverages because you don't have Uncle Sherm up top where you know you're playing zone with him for the most part. I mean, and that's just what they're going through. The offensive line, it was okay. I think one of the biggest things was that this was the first game Debo looked to be healthy. And Debo's a tone setter. I think everyone gets enamored with numbers and everything else. What was one of the things you saw routinely last year? Number 19 getting the ball and running through somebody's soul as a wide receiver. That was at least twice a week you saw it. And it was usually early in games to set the tone. You know, I do think they're going to try to take some more deep shots eventually with Ayuk because the kid can really stretch the field. But the other thing the kid can do is he can eat similarly to how Debo eats. So it's kind of bros thing going on. But it's kind of like literally the description of the offense. That's it. It's get the ball out of his hands, go make a couple people miss, hit you on time, go do something crazy. Nobody goes down easy in that stat. I'm anxious to see what happens against the Patriots, but we'll get to that later because Gilly Lock's out there, and Bill's not going to have George just frolicking through his secondary. That's what I do know. Those going to be made. George. Bill ain't have that. Ain't going to be no George having fun. There's going to be no more George the wrestling celebrations, none of that. Anytime Bill comes out in a press conference the week that he plays you and gives you nothing but praises, you're public enemy number 1.
Right. That means he's all focuses on you, bro. Period.
Member of the No Fun Club. Just you. resident of 1. Like, you know, that's all that is, man. But that's all I really had on it. It was a good win. They needed to win. But nothing to get super excited about. Like they got a tough stretch, but if they can get going, they get going. If they can't, they can't. It is what it is. I'm kind of just at peace with it.
It's I saw that game and I was like, this could be the game to turn them around. It could be. You never know. They played a good game, man. Like it wasn't, and they played against a good team. It's not like the Rams are a slouch. The Rams are a pretty good team right now. We already know the division battles in the NFC West is a real thing. Like you and I have talked about that several times, how that's one of the more important games of the season and something that everybody has marked on their calendar. And they came out on top, man. So, kudos to them for doing what they had to do. And like you said, y'all got the ingredients, man. Ayuk, that dude is real, man. I like that guy. Him, I like Debo. Of course, I got Debo in my fantasy squad. So, I was waiting to put him in. I'm gonna go ahead and start him next week. But
he's starting to look a little like him. Like him, little by little.
Yeah. So I mean, it was like I said, it wasn't like an impressive win like that. It was similar to the Bears win. It was an ugly win, but it was a win nonetheless. So I mean, I'll put y'all in a good position, man. So once again, man, hope y'all ride that wave, man, and see how it goes, man. Defensively, y'all gonna be all right.
No, that's a crazy thing. I'm not worried about them. With all the injuries, like I'm not that worried about them. Like, you're not gonna have the edge rush. It is what it is. You got to push. You got to blitz against the thing with. And this is the tough part, kind of conflicted, but I mean, also just being a realist too. Like the thing with Sherm is he's not under contract next year. Nobody in the secondary is under contract except for the two safeties. Yeah. So, I mean, this is also kind of like an early preview to what life post Sherm looks like.
Yep.
So, this is all the thing for Veret. This is your chance to lock down a bag.
Yeah.
If you're Jason Veret, prove that you're healthy, lock down a bag. They're not going to let you out the building because it's
take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, you can go into next year at CB1 if you stay healthy throughout this year. Not even being funny, because he's balled out thus far, and Uncle Sherm gone. If Veret wasn't healthy this year is even worse.
Yeah,
it's way worse. But I'm just the offense gets on track. It gets on track, man. It's just. That's it. Like I'm not really, I'm kind of like I said, I'm just at peace with what this season is what it is. Like, hey,
just gotta roll with it, man. Sometimes you gotta roll with it.
Worst case scenario, edge rushers come back next year. You have picks, you have edge rushers. No more defensive tackles, all edge rushers. Take 6 of them. Somebody got to make it here.
The crazy thing is, like you said, the pass rush wasn't really there. You guys don't really have that going for you right now, but y'all held Goff to 198 yards and he threw the ball 38 times.
So like, look, also be honest about that too. Some of that was just Goff's trash.
Well,
right? There was one player in particular. Cooper Kupp gets shout out to Jamar Taylor and Kwaski Tart.
I think I know it.
There's a miscommunication somewhere. He runs straight down the middle of the field, all by himself. And dude throws a ball, and dude starts twisting and turning and That was 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing good, but there's moments. All right, like that was 7.
It's definitely moments, man. But even still, you throwing the ball 38 times, you can't even get to 200 yards. I mean, a lot of it is the defense, and the thing is that the defense has them thinking. It has them moving, and he can't really get comfortable in the pocket like that.
Yeah, I mean, but again, like so much of that is he's just horrible. Like he's just like I'm sorry, dude. Like they messed up their Super Bowl window by extending this dude. Like he's trash. Like it's really bad. Like really bad. Because I'm sitting here watching, right? The systems aren't too different, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say that, but it's just bad, bro. Like
I got you.
Their coordinators do such a good job of getting people open.
Yeah.
How, Sway?
Yeah.
How? Someone's open somewhere. How? And the thing, I think like the biggest difference between him and James is that when like under pressure, James is a little bit more apt to stay in the pocket and deliver a throw. Yeah. And Goff's kind of like, oh my God.
He got hot feet. Yeah.
Like that's literally the difference. And I think Goff throws a way better deep ball. But,
Yeah.
I have no issues admitting that openly. Throws a much better deep ball, but he's just so bad at everything else.
All right, well, there you go.
You know what's so sad is like if they had a quarterback, they'd be right. Like they're better than Arizona. They're the second best team in the division. Arguably the top team in the division if they had a good quarterback. Russell's the best quarterback in the division, obviously. Kyler, they ain't got enough. But you would, if you had a quarterback, you would arguably have, say the quarterback's like at least top 15, right? Type talent. You would have a top 15 quarterback. Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, bro.
Yeah. That's a recipe for Super Bowl.
Like your life's not even bad. Let the quarterback be able to move a little bit. It's good money. Because Lord knows San Fran can't deal with mobile quarterbacks, so that puts you on top of them for a little bit. You're good. Take away the edge rushers, your quarterback's safe. Just get out the pocket. If you stand there, you're food. If you get out, you got a 60. It's like a 70% success rate. Get out the pocket. Someone's gonna just not do their job. It's fine. You got at least 5 seconds before someone realizes you left the pocket. You got 5 seconds.
Well, sorry. I mean, I was trying to give him something.
No, there's nothing.
Clearly, you knocked all that off the table.
Look, he got 2 good tight ends, 2 athletic tight ends.
Yeah.
You got 3 good running backs. You got Brown, Akers, and Henderson. Mm-hmm. So even when you get the check down, you're checking down to some solid, like none of their 3 backs are easy tackle guys. Right. Nobody comes down easy.
They're yak guys.
Again. Similar yak systems. Just one person can throw the ball to the yak monsters and one person can't.
Right.
And one person makes more than the other person, but I'm a mama finish. Y'all do what you'll do.
All right. We're moving on to the next game.
Hey, you could have kept Todd Gurley and had a young quarterback. I would have told Jerry to keep it moving. No.
Ooh, Lord.
You had Sue. You could have had a lot of things right now.
Yeah.
And instead, that's what you have is Jared. Airmailing passes to Cooper Kupp, who's wide open. Oh, look, it's Robert Woods wide open over the middle. There it goes.
All right, man. Look.
Okay.
We're going to just go ahead to the next game. I see how you feel about, golf and the Rams right now. So,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, hey, man, you got to get it off your chest. Sometimes you got to let it out.
It's just funny because, everyone got crap to say about quarterback for my team. And I'm like, their golf's still there. Like,
I hear you.
It's like you had to point the finger at one. Like,
so for a long time, people were trying to compare golf and Mitch because of the systems and Nagy and McVay and those 2 teams with the defenses, and I was like, I don't know if that's a compliment to golf.
I don't.
But
you talking about me, and that's where you going with this?
I'm just saying. I'm just like. So this is the team. This is the guy y'all think y'all gonna win with. Then if y'all comparing him to Mitch, well, good luck. Because I can tell you right now that's not gonna happen.
Sir, this is none of my business. But Justin had a comment. Let me go ahead and put this up on the screen real quick.
Oh Lord, he Maserati.
He's behaving to a time.
All right.
Speaking of which, is a great segue. Thank you, Justin. We appreciate it. Hope you recover quickly.
Yes,
all right, so to a time. I saw a lot of people going crazy about the decision. I got my thoughts. I'm sure you have yours. So I'm going to ask you your thoughts on it initially.
Well, you already know. I've already felt they should have just went ahead and started Tua if he was healthy. But I will say it's kind of strange that they did it while they're winning. Like that was the only thing that I found a little bit strange. But it also tells me that they're not trying to win. They're trying to get more draft picks, and they want to just ride this season out. But I just thought it was strange that they did it the way they did. It's not like Fitzpatrick was playing terrible football. He wasn't playing great, but they also were winning. So it's like you're throwing mixed signals out there. So I don't know. It was kind of strange, but I'm happy for Tua, man. I wanted to see the young man do his thing, and I don't know if you saw the shot after the game of him. He went out to the middle of the field, had to FaceTime with his parents. I thought that was golden, man. When I saw that, I was like, that's somebody who knows, like he's humble. He understands what's about to happen right now. He understands that this next step is real. And I just hope for nothing but success for him. But it was, like I said, it was just kind of strange seeing them make the switch the way that they did in the middle of a win streak. Not really a win streak, but of a decent season right now for Miami. So It is what it is. That's on them.
All right, I feel like Brian Flores. This is me personally. I feel like he's been pretty clear about this since they drafted Tua. I just think this is one of those things where like sometimes people don't listen when people say stuff over and over and over again. Feel like Flores has maintained like Tua's going to play when Tua's healthy, and they're probably just waiting till he's healthy enough to where the kid can protect himself. They got him some snaps. He got through it, and Ryan Fitzpatrick knew he was on borrowed time. I don't even care about people were talking about his message and his heartbeat.
Oh, I ain't care about that.
I'm like, bro, I'm being real honest. You've been a career backup. You knew what time it was. This is not the first or last time this has happened to you. You are always there to hold the seat until someone makes a decision to have another young kid, to have a kid take the job. You're always there. And is that unfair or whatever? It could be, but like that's just reality. This is the way your career's worked out. You know what time it was when you signed. Everyone knew what time it was when you signed with Miami. Miami made it clear they was going to get to it. They got to it. Cool. So like they checked all their boxes off. Clearly they feel like the kid can protect himself. Otherwise they wouldn't put him out there. If they, I guess my thing is, I feel like if they thought he could protect himself in like week one, kid would have been out there week one. We didn't have a preseason this year, right? So probably would have got a chance during preseason to play all 4 games, honestly, if he was healthy enough, right?
If he was healthy,
Like we probably wouldn't even, in a non-pandemic situation, we might have not saw Fitz at all outside of holding the clipboard this whole time, because there would have been OTAs and rookie mini camps and all this other stuff. But none of that stuff actually happened this year. They drafted him for a reason. We're not in the days where you draft somebody and they sit unless they're literally behind like someone you can't take out the game, right?
Yeah.
You're not behind like a top 5 or top 3 to 5 quarterback. You're gonna play. It's a matter of time. Even with Mahomes, if he's had Alex Smith, he was still healthy. Then it was what it was. It was what it was. But we all knew upon them drafting Mahomes, it was just on borrowed time. Like Alex should have the seat warm. This is just it's what it is. And like I get where some people coming from. We're like, oh, they were winning, man. They don't care about any of that. Like what you need to find out right now is if the kid can play, if he's going to be your guy, because then that determines what you do with your picks, how you move next offseason, what you do in the next couple of years. And you're not going to find that out if you sit through this year because you're trying to win for what? Yeah. Because if you try to win or whatever, and you get to next year, say you want to run, you made the playoffs, yay, you still don't know what your first round pick from last year can be. You want to know if he's not your guy, that's you got enough picks, you go get you another guy. Like I need to know this now. And I need to know if there's some things that I don't have here that would make his life easier. I have a more focused, I have more focus going to the offseason, going to the scouting process of knowing what to look for. So what would make the kid's life easier once we know he is in fact the guy. And this is what this is. You take not to be mean, but like sports in this pandemic year, man, is low key like a throwaway year from some teams. Like you can get a lot of stuff done that you wouldn't be able to do under normal circumstances. Because you couldn't do this with fans in there, you can't do some of this stuff, but ain't no fans. And if they are, it's social distancing, it's like it's a tenth of them. Who cares? Like I could block all that out, it doesn't matter.
So now that you were saying that, and I guess I'm not really putting all that into perspective as far as it's a COVID-rid season and OTAs and preseason and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So it does make sense. It makes more sense now if that was a thought process going in. But like I said, it still just felt weird that they did it when they did, but at the same time, if it was one of those things where they wanted to make sure the kid was healthy, then I'm with it.
Okay, so I got a question for you. Do you feel like the national perception would be different if this was coming off a loss?
I think so.
Okay, so essentially, that would be my question to anybody that's like, oh, it's whatever. I'll be like, if it's coming off a loss, man, I don't even care. Like, because that's the thing, you wouldn't care if it was. I'm not saying you, but most of the people that are up in arms about Fitz or whatever, if they lost the game, you'd be like, yeah, we need to see to it. Y'all been waiting to say, I need to see to it anyways.
Right.
It so happened that they won the game. So if that's the only technicality, the only thing blurring your mind, right? Ain't nobody trying to watch Ryan Fitzpatrick the rest of the year when you draft a young quarterback. I don't care if they went on a 5-game win streak. You're not winning nothing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're not beating the Chiefs, so I don't care. Put the kid in, figure out what you get. I don't care. You can do all types of magical Disney-like stuff. You not beating Kansas City. Doesn't matter. Go home. Stop. Thanks for playing. Great job. You need to figure out what you have, bro. Like that's it. It's that simple. And I think sometimes, like again, like that'd just be my question to anybody that's kind of like, it's weird because it's after a win. If they lost, would it bother you? If the answer is no, then it shouldn't bother you that they won. It's Ryan freaking Fitzpatrick. How many years? Like you're not building around this dude. It just doesn't matter for me.
Yeah.
That's like when the Steelers, Big Ben, Charlie, whatever. Charlie Ben is playing. Ben hurt. Ben's still younger, whatever. You want them to ride Charlie, like put Charlie ride it because they, ride the wave because it's three it's freaking they won 3 games in a row. Nah, put Big Ben back in there. I don't care. Back up.
Right.
Cool. You did your job. Good job, bro. Like good job, bro.
Yeah.
Get back. So I mean that's all this is because I think if Tua was playing at first, got hurt, and then Fitz played, and then Tua was healthy, we wouldn't be asking any of these questions. But again, COVID year, the kid got no rookie OTAs, no OTAs, no field work. But
and that's a big deal. It's a big deal. Like that stuff is needed, especially coming into the league.
Yep.
And at the quarterback position, you need all that.
Again, so if you're evaluating, this is almost the best thing in the world for you because this is all live action.
Yeah.
You get all live action for like the next however many games they got left. It's all live action to evaluate them. Like not a scripted session or practice or a joint practice. This is it's live bullets flying right now.
Right.
There's no better time to understand what you have and what you don't have than right now. So in Miami, you got all that draft capital. Yeah, I want to know what I have because I need to know whether I'm gonna need to end up going to a Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and get in the Trevor race. I need to know what I need to do.
Right, I need to know now. Right.
Which again, not to take too long on this topic, goes back to like the decision that Washington made with Dwayne Haskins, and this is why it's so asinine. Y'all weren't gonna win nothing. So what do we wait? Would we want to watch Kyle Allen do the same thing that Kyle Allen's already shown that he could do in 3 years?
Yeah.
And again, Dwayne missed OTAs, minicamp, all that stuff. No, he's not a rookie, but this was a new scheme, new coaching staff, all that stuff. He needed all those things. He didn't get any of those things. So for him to struggle, I mean, that's cool. What do you expect? Like, be honest, Washington, it was a throwaway year. You weren't going to accomplish anything.
Right.
Like, this is just being completely honest. You weren't going to accomplish anything. You had a perfect opportunity you were going to literally find out by the end of this year if this kid could play or not.
Yeah.
And if he couldn't, then you go in the draft. You end up with a good pick because you didn't win.
Right.
You
Right.
get your guy.
Right.
And now, I don't know what you did, but the sad thing is if the kid ends up getting moved and goes somewhere where somebody actually knows how to coach and teach, Scott Turner and that trash offense he has, then what? And now you diminish his value so bad, there's nothing you could get for him. Like, if people are out here still talking about, well, Scott Allen could possibly be something, you could at least have that in your back pocket to get you like a 4th or 5th or something. Even if Dwayne had a horrible year and you accomplished nothing, could have got something because somebody would have been like, oh, man, it was only 2 years. He had X amount of coordinators, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He was a first-round pick. There would have been still some type of shine on it. You took all the shine off it. You're not going to get nothing for him now. You're probably going to end up cutting him, releasing him, or getting like a 7th or something sad in return. And if you go somewhere where they understand how to actually coach Scott Turner, then what happens?
Then you're gonna look like the laughing stock of the league, like you have
Scott
been.
Turner. Yeah.
With some of the stuff that you've been doing with
Scott
that
Turner.
organization. So,
Scott
I mean, none of that would shock me, honestly.
Scott Turner.
I can absolutely see all that whole timeline playing out the way that you just laid it down.
So again, we had like literally similar things to a degree, and we watched 2 teams handle them differently, right?
Yeah.
I like the Miami way. I like Miami.
I would rather go that way too. You might as well at this point in time because, like you said, you're not going to win anything, and that's why I said get him in earlier. But if there were health concerns, then I get it. I understand. You wanted to make sure the kid was as healthy as he could possibly be before you put him out there because you're not winning. You know that there's some things that need to be cleaned up, but you have to be able to see what it is that you got coming, whether, like you said, it's through the draft or if it's going to be this kid that we drafted this past year. So, I mean, I get it. Like I said, I'm not mad at the move at all. I want to see Tua. So I'm good.
Hey, look, so does the entire Dolphins organization. They want to know what they have.
Yeah.
They need to know because you got like they possibly might have a chance of like one of the 5 quarterbacks next year.
Yeah.
So again, I want to know what I have. So if I don't have to spend on those things, I got these picks to shop and go get me some other things.
Right.
Which one of you desperate teams need to come up here and trade?
Yeah.
Give me your souls. Who got our quarterback? You know, like that's what I need to know. All right, so we're going to get to taking a look at next week's schedule. Talk about this real quick. We're going to start with I'm sorry, guys. We got Eagles and Giants. The NFC East teams are all playing each other this week. Dorian, if you're watching, I'm sorry. Got nothing to do with you, man. I'm gonna try to be as nice as I can. My guy Dorian's an Eagles fan, but yeah, you got Giants, Eagles. You can take a pick. I don't care. I'm not watching. It doesn't matter. It's still it's like the worst division ever.
Well, look, you know what? That game actually might be interesting because it's a division game, and these guys are actually fighting for first place position
in a 5-win
win. That I want to see this game, man. I want to see who's about to take over first place because Dallas is not going to do it because we'll get to that. But bottom line is, I'm gonna take New York, man. I got family.
You got New York? Oh, man.
I gotta go with New York. My wife would kill me, man, if I don't pick them at least once this year. Her and my brother-in-law.
Like twice if you're in danger. So you got the Eagles, guys. I'm going to Eagles. I don't live near either of them, so I'm safe. But no, like you said, Dallas is good at cooks. Like it's a wrap for them.
Yeah.
The Giants are just inept in every way, shape, fashion, or form. The Eagles also beat my team earlier this year. That's not the reason I'm picking them. They're just the most, like, at least with them out of all the other teams in the division, like they're literally going through it from an injury standpoint where they lost so much.
Yeah.
Like, so much money. Like they're similar to the team I root for. There's so much money for them on the sidelines that they haven't even seen this year.
Right.
Shout out to Travis Fulgham. He's out here showing out, trying to make sure he got a job, regardless of who comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been waiting. I'm not going back to the practice squad. I don't want to be there anymore. I want a regular people job in the NFL. So shout out to him. He was like, look, Carson, I'm always open. I don't care about these other folks. Look at me. It's Travis Fulgham, your best friend.
Right.
If you ain't got him in fantasy, I might want to. Dude's been acting out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the Eagles taking care of business, man. The Giants are just inept. Like they're really, really bad. And again, like goes back to the thing with Washington. Once again, Daniel Jones it feels like he's been in New York for like 8 years. That's how
I know.
So
it's bad. It's bad. And I don't with Philly, man, it's just I don't trust Wentz, man. I don't. I don't trust Wentz. Like out of the two, he's probably the better quarterback right now. But I think the Giants, man, I think they just, like I said, because they know that they still have an opportunity. Why not? Why not go for the gusto?
I mean,
I'm ride with the G-men.
Like to me, their version of the gusto is not losing by 30. Like horrible. Like, let's be competitive. That's the Giants rallying cry, bro. Like, I don't have time for this.
You're taking it too far, man. I'm not doing that. Nah.
I know you don't have to. I will say it. It's okay. I'll speak for both of us. It's fine.
People, he doesn't speak for me. Okay, Cindy.
You got to make it through the night. Me on the other hand, I can't take the Giants seriously. No, like the only team in the division I can remotely take seriously was Dallas because they had Dak and Dak's gone now. They got freaking Dalton and Mike McCarthy's a head coach. He was a bad head coach the first go round. But again, it's sports. If you're bad at your job, you always get another chance.
Right.
If you look a certain way. So yeah, I'm going with the Eagles in that one. Just,
all right.
They shouldn't be able to mess that up. They messed that up, man. Dorian, I'm coming for you. Pittsburgh and Tennessee, that was one of my games I had up there where there's only like 2 games this week that I felt were must see. This was one of them. Good matchup. The Steelers started to look like the Steelers game. We saw their defense get going last year with the trade for Minka Fitzpatrick. He got a top-notch safety. It's kind of their thing in the past. They get them a special safety. They go on about their life on that end, get them a couple pass rushers, which they had. And then, Ben came back. And That's one of the things when I was looking, during the draft, the first thing that jumped out to me, like I didn't think a whole lot of Chase Claypool, but when he landed in Pittsburgh, I was like, oh look, Ben has it's a Ben type of toy.
Yeah.
It just what does Ben always get? Some tall freak of nature, Martavis Bryant, and he's fine. I'm gonna put the ball to wherever you get it because all the person he's throwing to understands is I'm big, strong, fast, see ball, get ball. We're good.
Simple formula, and it's been working.
It always works with Ben.
Yeah,
it always does. Like he is surgical with the deep ball, and if God gave you the gift, it's this freakish size that they get somebody to do. Like Chase Claypool can run, and again, see ball, hit ball. That's it. He showed his behind against the Eagles. I think was it 2 weeks ago.
Yep,
it's cooking like 4 teddies.
Yeah, man.
He's a lot to do. It's gonna be fun to see him. How Pittsburgh deals with Tennessee's secondary. Kevin Byard back there. They do a lot of stuff back there on the back end of their defense. Where they got a solid pass rush, and again Kevin Byard's patrolling back there. But we're gonna see how they attack it. And Pittsburgh got to deal with King Henry.
Yeah.
So your thoughts on this one?
So I got Pittsburgh in this game, but I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a really good game just because you got two good defenses. You have, just two hot teams right now. Both of them are really feeling it right now, and Derrick Henry, man, is running out of his mind, dude. Which, thank you, because you're a freak of nature with athletically, dude. Just how big he is and how fast he is. Just like he should be doing what he's doing right now all the time. That's just period. Like every game should be almost identical, just running through people because they can't tackle you. He stepped on. Did you see what he did to Josh Norman?
Yeah, but not only can they, it's not a can't, but do you want to? Like that's the better. Do you want to? There's a lot of people I see accidentally get their foot caught in the grass.
Right.
He comes rumbling their way. They accidentally pull up lame, or all of a sudden it's a bad angle. They get close enough, and it's like, yeah, I'm good.
They're reaching out.
Hey, look, they're leaning back while reaching out.
Almost had him, coach.
I just can't get that. Come on, man.
They don't want to tackle that man. And I get it. He's huge. I wouldn't want to tackle him either, man. But I got Pittsburgh. I'm gonna ride with Ben on this one, and that offense. So
that's okay. So like I'm stuck right there just because I would like to go with Ben in the offense. I know as good as Pittsburgh's defense is, who's going to tackle him?
I know.
That's my. But then at the same time, it's like I don't know if I trust Ryan Tannehill against Pittsburgh's defense, but he's been pretty solid.
But that's the key though, because he has to play against that Pittsburgh defense, and that Pittsburgh defense, that secondary, right, dude, they're playing lights out. Yeah. So, and that's why I would pick Ben over Tannehill for that reason alone. And like Henry's going to do what he's going to do. But I'm not going to take Tannehill over Ben. Not at this point. Not at all.
No. Nor should you. That said, I'm gonna go step out on the limb. I'm going with the juggernaut. I'm going with King Henry over there at running back because somebody got to tackle him. Ain't nobody want to do all that. It's a great idea until you get up close.
Right.
It's a wall with legs.
Like, oh, that's a person? That was a field goal post, man. What's going on?
Last week when he started pulling away from the little people, I was like, yeah, I'm good off this.
Right, yeah.
And then if you get close enough, you get one of those stiff arms.
Yeah, so it's either you're going to get burnt, ran over, or you're going to get thrown away. So, I mean, you pick your poison.
You got to get him behind the line of scrimmage because once he gets past the line of scrimmage, it's
a done deal.
It's all downhill. And it's All right, so we got another one of these great NFC East matchups. Dallas at Washington.
I'm taking Washington, man. I'm taking Washington. I'm going out on a limb taking Washington. I don't want to see Jerry Jones win.
Look, we're going out on a limb just mentioning this game. This is horrible.
Period.
All right, I'm just not going to pick.
That's fine. I get it. I get it. That's fine.
I'd be mad if I had to watch that.
Right.
That's horrible. Andy Dalton versus Kyle Allen.
Yeah, oh my God. You could have just left it at pick and we could have moved on to the next.
No, I am far too immature for that. Andy Dalton versus Kyle Allen. I'm gonna go with Dallas just because I don't know if Washington has enough. Like I know Kyle Fuller is great at his job. Man, I don't trust anybody. I'll take Dallas since you took Washington. We
Yeah.
probably won't even revisit this next week. It
That's
doesn't.
fine.
All right, Buffalo and another one. Buffalo and the Jets.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with Buffalo, but Buffalo did not. I don't know. It's like they're hitting the wall right now, and you don't want to be involved with one of those games like this one up against New York because you mess around and sleep. And New York, the Jets come out on top. I don't think they will, but it is definitely it's a trouble game, man. They better be careful. But I think Buffalo will come out on top on this one.
Dude, if they find a way to lose to the Jets, that's on them.
Yeah,
You got to find a way.
but it's possible. We've seen it's still the Bills. Let's not.
It's still Adam Gase.
He still got a job, man.
And that's why I can't take his team ever. Like even if you can spot them 25, he'll find a way to mess it up. Like,
that's hard to do, man. Like
challenge accepted. Signed Adam Gase. Yeah, I'm going with Buffalo. I know they just got it. They got some guys up front that can rush the passer a little bit. That said, they got a bunch of zone corners. Like somebody got to go get Diggs.
Yeah,
and Josh Allen doesn't. That's the one thing with the kid that hurts him. It's kind of a flaw and kind of a gift for him too. There's no filter in his decision making. He will always just throw that thing up, and you're gonna get you a couple opportunities each game, as Justin would say if he was here. It's just whether you make a play on it or not. And I don't trust the Jets to make a play on anything, but there would be opportunities. It's just again whether they're able to make a play on it or not. All right, we got Carolina Saints. Teddy B gets a chance to play the team he used to be on just a year ago. I guess the Saints possibly might get Michael Thomas back this week, but the Saints is another one of those teams. They just haven't looked right this year. Mm-hmm. But it also feels like you're not allowed to say that out loud this year either. They're one of the protected. It was one of the teams with Teflon. You can't say anything bad about them at all. Carolina, I guess.
These games are a lot tougher to pick just because of everything that's going on this year, man. It's so hard to pick these games, but I was going to lean toward Carolina too, man. They looking to bounce back after that.
I take it back. It's in New Orleans, so I'll go Saints.
Dude, but does that really matter though right now?
I don't know. Just like the Panthers are a young team, it's a new coach, everything else. I don't know, but I also just don't trust the Saints, so I'll stick with the Panthers. Like the Saints, one of my teams where I just don't trust no matter what's going on, who's over there. They'll find a way to just mess it up. Like I wrote off last year in the playoffs.
I mean, and defensively, I definitely don't trust them right now. Like I'm going with Carolina, man. I like what Teddy Bridgewater's doing right now. He's trying to kind of feel himself out, get used to, being back fully. And you can feel it, like you can see it last week when playing against the Bears, a couple of rushes that he did have to get outside the pocket. I think he needed to take those little dings to kind of knock off the rust and be like, okay, I'm good. You know what I mean? And he made some plays down the field throwing the ball too. So now against that secondary in Chicago, that's not really it's kind of hard to judge that because we give up a lot of yards. We just don't give up scores. But I like what Carolina's doing. I'm sticking with Teddy, man.
All right. Green Bay and Houston. Green Bay is coming off that embarrassing whipping they took from the Bucs. Was all over them. Every year with Green Bay, like it's just the same thing, man. We go all excited and there's new this, there's new that. Then the team comes as physical, punches them in their mouth, and they don't want to fight back at all. It's rinse, wash, repeat. The good thing is it's Houston. Green Bay should be fine.
Yeah.
Green Bay should be fine. There's no one that can hurt you.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I got Green Bay in this too. They just lost lineman though last week. I don't know if he's still out. They left guard, I believe, or the tackle.
You talking
Somebody
about
on the left side.
For Green Bay or Houston? I'm sorry.
For Green Bay.
Oh, see, I didn't see it.
It was I forgot who it was, but they just lost. Like he went out last game. I got to look and see if he's still playing because that's actually a big deal. Because if Aaron Rodgers starts to get hit, that's when things start to change for Green Bay. Yeah. Offensive line protection is something that he's needed, and he hadn't really received in the last few years. So they've been playing damn good this year. So if you lose anybody on that line, that can really change the whole game plan for you. So, but I got Green Bay in this game over Houston. Like you said, it's Houston. I'm not really worried about them right now.
And I know Boone got there or whatever, but they gave away some of the good talent that they have for the low.
Yeah.
I know they're still a good wide receiving core, but that team needs they're in need of somebody to come in and kind of like make sense of the pieces and add some things. And so like the stuff makes sense because it just doesn't at the moment. We got Cleveland and Cincinnati. Cleveland's coming off they got the pause put on them last week. It was going around for some teams.
Like a disease.
My team caught it the week before. Ryan Fitzpatrick went after Brian Allen, man. They put that pause on us, boy.
Man.
It's him right there.
Right.
Again. We never saw him on tape. Who is that guy? Oh. 3 years worth of tape. What was that? Number 20, what? Who cares?
Don't want none of that.
I don't care what the play call is. Preston, this is going to you. Going to you. Take him out. I know they was laughing at the huddle.
Had to be.
Be like, they still ain't changing?
Right. Like, oh, we're going to keep going. That's fine.
Here we go. Guy Parrish. Taking this, Parrish. So Smitty out here with the David Bakhtiari is the tackle that got hurt.
Thank you.
So
that's what I was trying to figure out. I thought it was Bakhtiari. I wasn't sure, but like I said, when I saw him go down, like I said, that's a big deal. That's a big piece on that line. So, and
here you go. Smitty out here. Man, trying to get an invite next week.
Yeah. Come on through, bro.
Free. And out here, hey, look on the wires.
Right. Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Cincinnati and Cleveland. The last time these two teams played, it was pretty close. They barely got away from Burrow. The last time they played, I know it's been a little bit. I'm going Cincinnati. Yeah.
So these games are normally pretty decent just because it's the battle of the state.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. With Cleveland, man, I don't know what they are offensively, man. And they got too many weapons for them not to be able to figure it out by now. And they looked terrible last week, but again, at the same time, that was against a premier defense in Pittsburgh, and that's not the same thing in Cincinnati. But I think I like Cincinnati in this game. I think Cleveland about to really hit that wall where those guys are going to start bickering with each other on the sidelines. We about to see a repeat of what we've seen years past. I think I'm gonna rock with Cincinnati on this.
Yeah, I'm with Cincinnati, and I'm gonna be real honest, man. For Cleveland, just trade him, dude. Trade him. And it's not him. The reason I'm saying trade him, and it's not him. Y'all need to know what y'all have under center, and take the excuse away because you keep blaming. You need send him away so y'all can see what I've been seeing. Please get rid of him, trade him.
Yeah.
So you can find out that you too might be in a sweepstakes for another quarterback.
Right. Take an opportunity, man, and this is the time to do it. So
you can look, just use it one last time to blame them. This is exactly why the year went bad. Whatever, get what you can get in the draft to go get you an actual quarterback. To be real, man. Like y'all been out here fighting this battle. Sometimes it is what it is, man. People are who they are.
Yeah.
Dude shouldn't have been selected that high.
I know that all too well in Chicago.
And I guess my thing is, if you were going to take it out, you better make sure you had one of the top 5 dudes in the league that could work with somebody like that.
Yes.
To make sure that was happening. Like, I'm not going to put this all on him either because you selected him, right? You also had a chance, Cleveland, to do something really, really crazy by taking somebody who won an MVP already and a certain other running back in the same year. You could have taken them both.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoyed your life. You chose not to. So this is an opportunity that you had, and you're at where you're at now. There's a lot of teams. Everybody makes fun of you guys for that year too, right?
Yeah,
it's just not Chicago. You could put San Francisco up there too, because the Solomon Thomas pick was a bad pick, right? For that high, it didn't work out. Regardless, just being honest, you got to look at for what it is, because you can look at it. This is an every team thing right here for some of the guys, because I think they were saying that Kyle wasn't looking at a quarterbacks this year because at that time they thought they were going to try to make a swing for Kirk.
Right.
You could have done both. You should have done both.
Should have done both, yeah.
Done both, right? obviously things worked out a little bit in your favor because of what you're able to scheme. You ended up lucky getting the trade or whatnot, but you're able, even the year that Nick Mullins had under center, you're able to have somewhat of a productive year offensively. That's just because you're you. Somebody else did the same thing. We be talking about y'all like we talk about the Bears. Like it's not just the Bears that missed out that year. There's a lot of teams. Like you're in a better situation if you're San Francisco if you took Deshaun that year. You know, and now you're at a place where whatever's going on with Jimmy, if he gets right, if he doesn't ever come out of whatever he's in right now, and, you know, he's on them essentially a bunch of 1-year deals. He might have to take a quarterback next year.
Yeah.
And again, this is whether I think they should do that or whatever might happen is none of my business. All I'm simply saying is this is where you're at. It's the fact that it's a discussion means that you are in line with Chicago on some level. There's a lot of teams where that messed up that year.
So let me ask you. Let's go back to Baker real quick. So you felt Baker was picked too high, right?
I never thought he was going to be successful in the league from college.
Okay.
I was off the train early on just because I felt like a lot of the stuff that kind of quote unquote worked for him in college, it wouldn't translate because I don't care about the conference thing too much. Like all conference, you know, everybody doesn't play in the SEC, and just because you don't play in the SEC doesn't mean you're not successful on the next level.
Right.
That said, the few times that you saw SEC caliber defenses or an SEC defense, even if it wasn't the totally loaded ones, you struggled. That bothers me. That worries me a lot. Because then my whole thing is when you do see it, if it bothers you that much, what are you going to do when there's 11 of them type of dudes?
Yeah.
And even if you do see them, like some of the dudes, like I remember like yesterday, they were playing Georgia, and that Georgia team wasn't even a super loaded Georgia team defensively. Struggled.
Yeah, and I remember that game when he struggled too. I want to say we talked about that game afterwards.
That day, and I was because I'm petty, and I was like, "This is the dude."
Yeah.
We out here also Killmonger, like this is the king.
So okay, now the reason why I asked that is because I also feel Baker was picked out. I mean, outside of where he should have been.
Yeah.
I thought he may be able to be somewhat successful in the league, but it depended on where he landed. So if you put a guy like Baker Mayfield in that Rams offense, because we were just talking about golf, if you switch those guys out, you put Baker there,
he'd be better than golf.
I think that offense would be better.
He'd be better than golf because stuff's more on schedule there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because of who you have running the ship.
That's why. And this is not a knock on Stefanski or whatever, because we don't know yet. You know, it's kind of his first go round as head coach.
Sure.
Like we know just watching McVay, even LaFleur, Kyle, like those three kind of like we can literally look at their offenses and see the similarities. Like there's things that carry over to each of their offenses. It's just about when they like to use them, kind of like their preference or the way that they see it. But there's a lot of the same stuff, man. Everybody runs the ball and they love play action.
Yeah.
It's how much they want, you know what I'm saying? Just how much they go after it. A lot of it's about, especially with McVay and Kyle, about finding the defense's rules, using it against them, yada, yada, yada. I think Baker would be fine with McVay because of what he did with golf. Like, I think not that you can mask some of it, but it's easier to put him on schedule. Like, there's not as much thinking for Baker. And I think what happens in Cleveland, like, and the other thing is they don't have the super big name pass catchers where he's not going to feel like someone needs to get the ball more than others.
And that's a big deal.
And I think it is. Some quarterbacks, it wouldn't bother him. Like it is what it is. But I think for him, that kind of like some of that noise gets to him a little bit. You know, that's a him thing. Could be wrong. That's just me sitting way back here looking.
No, I see it too.
But I think that's some of it where they do such like because like think about it when people talk about Kyle's offense and McVay's offense, you could talk 15 minutes before you mention the quarterback.
Right. It's a good point.
Like we can have a 30-minute conversation about their offenses and not talk about who's under center.
Right.
We talk about all the crazy different things. We could go on for hours.
The schemes and everything. Yeah.
But we're not like, oh man, you remember so and so was transdestined. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he set the world off.
Right.
The scheme was fire. Did you see what he did there? Did you see how they moved that to make that? And that's what we be talking about. So yeah, I think a different situation. I think Baker be a little bit better, but like that's why I didn't think he should have been picked that high.
I got you.
It's too many things where like in a super structured like a super structured, like dumb detailed golf system, he would be fine. I think that would be better. But at the same time, like his limits the fact that like even in college you like to move a little bit. You can't move on the NFL level.
No. Because you're playing against NFL speed, which is way different than the guys that you were playing against some years ago, where most of them are working office jobs now.
But even you couldn't run away from them. You can't run away from them. So I knew you were going to run away from the 300-pounders that run 4.8s. You couldn't run away from the guys on a college scholarship that ran 5.2s.
Yeah.
Get away from them. So that was an issue. And the fact that like you did it so much, I was like, come on, what's going on? I saw other people, Lamar sat his butt in the pocket until he had to leave. Deshaun sat his butt in the pocket until he had to leave. You were always out left or out right somewhere. Like, you don't think he just loves going right. He gets in trouble. He just boots right.
Right, yeah.
It's a schedule thing in his mind because he did it so much in college.
Yeah.
And it's still a thing you do. Like, and also it's not instinctual that you just move to what's ever happening. It's almost like
it's a ritual.
It's a ritual or a predetermined escape plan is I got to roll to my right. Why?
Yeah.
Just stuck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying, obviously, golf is perfect or anything like that. But yeah, I think in a system like that, I think it'd be fine.
Okay.
It's so detail oriented. It's just it's like painting by numbers. They're not literally they just not asking you to do that much.
Right.
You just,
and that's why I asked.
Yeah.
That's why I asked because I'm like I said, I was just thinking about the conversation that we had earlier in regards to golf, and I'm like, Baker would probably be a better fit in that system. Not saying that that's the answer for them or anything like that, but the system itself,
I think
set for Baker.
McVay would have gotten more out of him to this point.
Okay.
Had he ended up in that offense like that because you can hide so much stuff. You're just asking them to get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
Like somebody was talking about today, I forgot what I was watching, and they were relaying a story McVay told about one of the things they did with golf was he would script the practices. Like this is how detailed they were, right? And this is not verbatim because I don't have that type of memory. But they were saying McVay was telling them that one of the things he did with golf early on was he would script the practice so detailed that on defense, and he wouldn't tell golf, but he would let the defense know exactly what they were running to take his primary read away, so he could work on going to it. But he never told golf. You know what I'm saying? So like that's a level of detail where I think if Baker ended up somewhere like that, like you can't help but you can get rid of some of those things because your coach went to do all that.
Right. That's a good point. And if you're going to be that detail oriented, it's going to be hard to make those mistakes in game because it's muscle memory at this point. You already know, and it's like a clock. You got the clock now, and that's why I think McVay is definitely one of the top coaches in the league, man. Just
for example, why do you think Kirk plays the way he does? He plays like a robot.
Yeah.
He was in that room with Colin McVay and them.
Well,
and one of the knocks on him is that he doesn't have a feel for it. And that's the problem with him. He doesn't have an actual feel for the freaking game. It's just here. That's not there. That's not there. Ball goes here.
Right.
Like it's just a computer processing.
Yeah.
And it's going to get to this quote unquote the open place or whatever. Like if you run an algorithm and in his brain it tells them this is where the ball should go.
Right.
And that's that.
And that's the bottom line. Yeah.
Minnesota has issues because there's no feel to it. If you had some feel to it, you'd be like, all right, if I hold this a little bit longer, my man's open.
Right.
But I'm on schedule, bro. I'm on schedule. And you see me on schedule, everything goes like they program that man, that
it's an android, man.
like you're joking, but next time you watch Kurt play, now it's gonna be in your head from here on out. Watch.
It really is.
Watch.
I'm not gonna be able to unsee it now.
Be like, bro, I saw the lights beeping. It's beep, 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 beep. Open. Beep, beep, beep. Throw ball like ground.
Is he recording himself right now? Like what?
Who knows? But like that's kind of like it's kind of bad. But like like some Vikings fans will tell you too. It's like you wonder why the dude kind of seemed detached, like detached from it sometimes. It's because like that's how he's playing quarterback. It's literally through the eyes of a computer. It's just like we ran a play. I did this. The coverage dictated that. Blah blah blah. I hit that person. If that ain't, if it didn't work, like shit, I ran the play.
Right.
Ain't on me. Ball got out.
I did my job. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Hey,
I don't. What's the problem?
Back to 2. So you should have a better option for 2 if you wanted to across the sticks.
He can't see that. Yeah, he can't see that. So
not on me, sir. He's looking at the coach like, seeing me like you should drew up something a little bit better. Pardon me. All right, Lions and Falcons. I just don't believe in the Falcons. They find a way to do everything bad all the time. So why not?
Yeah, I'm going with Detroit too, man. The Falcons are just a bad team, man. And I don't understand how you bad with Julio and Ridley and Gurley actually has been playing decent football in the backfield. So I don't know, man. It's weird.
Dudes they got an offense.
Yeah. And I'm like, what are y'all doing, man? Like, how? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they're doing.
You got 2 number 1 wide receivers, and it's a struggle.
They need to blow it up.
Yeah, but the tough part for them, I'm seeing everybody talk about like these great trade things and everything else. Man, the way they do these contracts, they end up taking on so much dead money. It doesn't make sense. And just a reminder for everybody that loves all these fantastical ideas with these contracts. The cap is lower next year. Ain't nobody can afford to do some of these outlandish things y'all are talking about. At least not for next year. Like you might have to wait 2 seasons. Yeah. Then the crazy stuff could happen again.
Yeah.
Some of these contracts, people like some teams weren't thinking ahead fully. And if you saw some teams this year kind of like clear their books quietly.
Real quiet. I mean, real quiet.
Really quietly. And you're wondering why your team has no money to sign anybody. Because they're trying to make sure they can get to next year and actually have a team.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't even think about the cap going down next year too, man. But they just Atlanta, man, just oh God. It's so hard to even watch them play football. I feel bad for Julio and Calvin and those guys, man, because nothing's happening there. Like it's just not that window of opportunity they had. Was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, however long it was? That's over with.
You mean when Kyle was there and lost the Super Bowl? Yeah. You talking about then? Yeah.
That year.
And Matt
that's done. That's behind them. It's in the rear view, man. They need to go ahead and just blow it up. I don't know how they're gonna do it. They need to figure it out.
That's a whole personal issue. Unless you're ready to take dead money. If nobody's in the seats next year, you can get through it. That's all I got to say. Just be bad. Who's going to boo? No one's inside. Close the doors. All right, other game of the week I had, it's a division game. Seattle, Arizona is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
And then the young dude in division, Kyler's a whole problem. Shout out to Bill O'Brien. One of his greatest things was just giving DeAndre Hopkins to Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray was like, ooh, a toy, and his hardly looked back to anybody else since he got his new toy.
Right.
Last week was the first time I saw Christian Kirk do something fun because the ball didn't go to Hop. I was like, oh yeah, Christian Kirk.
It's like, God, I had you, man. Where you been?
Like, oh, I guess you're that open, right? Hop, okay, cool. Here, Christian.
Right.
But nah, seriously though, it's a good defense. Arizona has a good defense. They've been building quietly. There's some pieces going to have to change out over time. Pat P's on the other side of his career. I'm not saying he's done because, people go crazy, but he's on that side of it. Jordan Hicks been amazing since he's been there. Was an Eagle, been balling out since he's been in Arizona. Buda Baker's one of the best safeties in the league. A lot of people don't watch Arizona. There's a reason him and Kittle respect each other at the level that they do. Buda's a problem. He's amazing. And it's rare that you end up getting a guy. I'm not saying he's Honey Badger like at all, but have a guy that's even in the realm of that dude's talent. That's there after you lose him. Like you're lucky. You're lucky to even have someone in the same stratosphere as him. And Buda's well on his way. And then Cliff, like I said, the only thing I like about Cliff is his offense, man. And that's the one thing I give Cliff credit for. He knew the quarterback he needed to execute Cliff's offense.
Yep.
Got Cliff's quarterback, and Cliff's like, "I'll be here. Long Kyler here, I'm good."
Yeah.
So I give Cliff all the credit in the world for that. It's a good team. It's a good team. Again, I know a lot of people don't watch. That is a very good team. And Seattle, man. Like Russ is, Now I tell you all the time. I tell anybody who listen to me, Russ is like watching Michael Myers slasher flicks, man. Like you just what you never want to do is be the team in the lead and Russ has the ball with the clock going down.
Yeah.
Like you always want to have a chance. You never want it to be that. Because if it's that, you're done.
Yeah, it's a done deal.
He's the type of dude where he'd be like, oh, it's a chance? Yeah. It's just a matter of how.
Right.
Yeah. And it's the scariest thing in the world because it's what's gonna happen. He's gonna find you. It's just a matter of how.
And because of that reason alone, I'm taking Seattle, man, just because the way that they've been playing. And their defense is not what they need to be. Like,
hold on. Their defense is trash.
I was trying to give them
because they had a standard there for a while. Their defense is
trash. They're bad.
It's trash. It was bad.
The defense is bad, and Russ is holding them up.
It was bad last year. It's trash now. Their best pass rush is a safety. It's trash.
Okay, fine. The defense is trash.
Amazing. Russ and DK are must-watch TV.
But yeah, that's it, man. And there's an opportunity for them possibly pick up Antonio Brown. I was looking at that. I don't know if you saw that earlier today.
I saw it, and I'm gonna say, unlike for every other team, hey man, do what you got to do, Seattle. Go get yours. I'm not mad at you. Do what you got to do, Russ, because Lord knows you don't know if the next thing's gonna be remotely like this. Do what you got to do. I'm not mad at Seattle. I despise them. That said, Russ scares me. I'm scared of him. Right? Horror movies. So
he don't get more toys, man. And that's another toy they may possibly be getting.
What did I say to you when they got DK?
You said what now?
What did I say to you when they got DK?
Oh yeah, he was upset. Not upset, but upset.
I have to see it. I have to see it.
Right,
I have to live through it. I have to watch. I have to watch that. Like knowing that there's not that, you don't have anything to combat that. And when I was just talking about the not to be mean to Patrick Peterson, they don't got a chance of stopping DK. I'm gonna say it. It's fine. They don't got a chance, and you know what, of stopping DK. And I love Buddha, but you're not built to deal with that.
Not at all. So
not to build to do. Like seeing what he did earlier this year, the Gilly lock in New England, and there's nothing like Gilly lock in Arizona. They're gonna have fun. The only other thing that Seattle defense so bad, like, are they gonna be able to deal with Kyler?
And that's the thing is that you got the other side of the ball. The other guy that's under center is like, hey, he's a miniature of the one that you already have on your team. so you better figure it out.
Is in true NFC West fashion, it's either gonna be like 52-49 or 12-7.
I see more 12-7. I don't know why, but I feel a 12-7 long, just like
Look, they gotta put points up.
Watch that game, man.
Neither one. Both of them teams run the ball because it's a courtesy, because it's a thing you should do. Neither one of them run the ball because they have to. Like that's the other two teams in the division where they have to run the ball.
Yeah,
these two, no. Let's be like another one. Let's call another.
I'm just by the way this year has gone though. 2020 has been a weird year.
Yeah. Okay, so
that game is going to be 12-7.
Yeah, for that reason, because 2020 is undefeated. By looking at the injuries on the team that I root for, 2020 is undefeated. Every win, 3 people have gotten hurt this year. I almost don't want any more wins because it's cost bodies.
It's crazy.
Yeah, 12-7. Why not, Rob? Why not? Who's winning this game 12-7?
Okay, Seattle.
I'm still going 52-49. Jacksonville, because 2020. Jacksonville, Chargers. Justin Herbert's out there doing some things. I'm gonna say I feel like I was probably a little too harsh on him coming into the draft. Like I was really not high on him at all. That said, I feel like he's similar to Josh Allen in a sense that the things that make them good is they have so much faith in their big arms.
Yep.
They both have no discernment in terms of how to use it, and that's why I can't trust either one of them.
Right.
So the other thing is just Jacksonville. They're also just Jacksonville.
Bad. Oh, you can say it now. Trash.
Jacksonville. I like C.J. Henderson though.
So, like, okay.
Hold on. But they're a trash organization.
Okay. There we go.
That's I like C.J. Henderson. Gosh, it was a draft day crush for me. All right, look.
I feel you. I feel that. That's cool.
Now that I had to tell the truth, cool. Bad organization. You got Chargers or Jaguars though?
I got the Chargers in this one. Like, I mean, Jacksonville's bad. I like what LA is doing. I like Herbert, man. I'm not mad. Like, I can see the comparison with Josh Allen, where yes, they do have big arms and they have all the faith in the world, and they're like, oh, I got it. Don't worry about it. But that's also, that's rookie mess. So they'll hopefully, with the proper coaching, they can kind of shake that off. At least in LA. I don't know about Josh Allen in Buffalo.
I think that's them. Period. This is the good and the bad.
You think this is going to be it?
Hey, this is who they are. That's who they are.
I mean, and they very well could be, man. But I think I like Herbert, and I might like Herbert just a little bit better than Josh Allen, man. Like, he's a little bit more poised in their pocket, I feel like. And he got weapons too, man.
Nah, he definitely does. They both got toys everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, they both ended up in good situations in terms of weapons, especially with Buffalo going out to go get Diggs, and then you walked into the weapons Phillip Rivers already had. They retooled some things. Melvin Gordon's not there. The back, like, the stable of running backs was already full. And a couple other folks. I mean, there's weapons. All right, we got New England, San Francisco, Cam Newton, Jimmy G, the Belichick, Kyle Shanahan, Gilly Lock, all the fun stuff. You can go first on this one. Except my general.
This game is. I was sitting there staring at this one while you was talking about one of the other games. I was like, I don't know who I'm gonna pick on this game. Like, it's tough, man. Just football, just in general, is tough because the coaching in me wants to go with Belichick only because Belichick just knows his job. He understands how this works. He understands how the game plan, and he had Jimmy G on his roster. Like, he knows the guy. But at the same time, they haven't looked like that same Patriots team that we've seen over the last couple of years. Like, they look a little rocky right now, look a little shaky. And San Francisco's coming off a nice win last week. It was an ugly win, but it was a nice win nonetheless. And I can see them, pulling out a victory. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go with your 49ers in this game. I'm gonna go with your 49ers in this game. I think they're gonna pull this one out. I don't know. Something about New England I'm not really trusting right now. I trust Bill. It's not Bill. It's something about that team. I'm not feeling it.
I mean, for me, I think it just comes down to one thing, man. Like, this is just which Jimmy shows up. If it's bad Jimmy, the Patriots will be fine.
Oh, yeah.
If it's good Jimmy, the Niners should win because the Patriots depleted at some key positions, man. And the one thing you don't want to do is play a Shanahan team where your linebackers are kind of not on point because they get away with a lot of stuff. The counter is, Jimmy's going to have to do this without the use of George Kittle. I fully expect him to either be bracketed or Gilmore to be there the entire time. So with that said, this is Debo, KB, and Ayuk. Can you get enough out of them? Excuse me. You also don't have Raheem Mostert who's out. So with McKinnon, it's probably McKinnon, Jeff Wilson, and Jermichael Hasty. And I don't know if Kyle's at the place with Hasty to really trust him and let the kid rock like that. He probably is their best opportunity as the lead back of those three right now because he has the most juice in terms of someone like similar to Mostert. It's not the same running style, but you remember the Harbaugh years when they had Kendall Hunter?
Yeah.
Hasty runs a little bit like Kendall Hunter.
Okay.
Where they're small, dumb, shifty, and kind of way way more powerful than they look. Kind of jittery, but they don't waste time, even though a lot of jump cutting. Man.
Is he third? Is he third on the depth chart with running backs right now?
Sure. The depth chart's weird, man, because that's the kid who finished the game off against the Rams.
Right, and that's why I was asking.
I mean, technically, it's Heem, it's Mostert, it's RB1.
Yeah.
And I mean, even then, that's weird because even last year, Tev got the loosen him up, and then Mostert came in, did his damage. Tev is hurt too. I I personally think McKinnon's probably best used as the third down guy right now.
Okay.
Even with him just coming back from his injuries, I think he still has it in terms of getting open in the passing game. I don't think he has it consistently like down to down running. I don't feel like he trusts. Like I don't feel like he trusts his instincts in that nature yet. I'm a little hesitant. But yeah, I mean that's it for me. Is they got an elite cover guy, and it's just about where Bill chooses to employ him. And I'm interested. This is what's also interesting. I'm interested to see if he's gonna be on George, or if he feels that they have to keep Gilly Lock on Ayuk.
And so when you said that, I'm like, if they put Gilmore on Kittle, then Ayuk gonna eat, man.
Well, I mean, it depends because but this is the other thing. You would think he would eat typically, but like we were talking about with this offense before, it's not like it's a big downfield throwing offense. So it's kind of daring them to do something they don't do.
Yeah.
In terms to beat them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, he would eat if there's nobody over the top, but are you gonna dare them to come out of who they are, essentially, and do what would be kind of the smart thing to do?
Right.
Shots downfield. Because if they don't hit, because they don't really hit on them that often, if they don't hit, it's 3 and outs. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing.
So it depends on the game plan that New England that they present to you, and I get that, but I just think with the weapons with Ayuk and with Kittle and then with Debo, because Debo he ain't really played all season. You know, he's played the last couple games, but he ain't really played for real. And if he's back to what we think he is, right?
Well,
if he's back to what we think he is, then that's a problem.
But that's what's gonna be interesting to see who he deems most important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna be interesting to me is who Bill deems most important to take away from Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing. Because if it's George, you can always have George just block.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the weird thing there. Or do you leave Gilly on Debo or Ayuk and you just bracket George with somebody else? But do you want to take a linebacker and a safety to do that?
And they still may fail at it. I mean,
I think what's it called when they played the Raiders? Didn't they put Gilly Lock on Warren?
Yeah.
So and they had rugs and stuff outside, and they do throw downfield. So I don't know. I don't know.
It depends on the defensive game plan, man. But I'm gonna ride with your Niners, man. I like what I'm seeing with them.
Oh no, man, it's Bill Belichick, bro. I don't pick against him.
Hard to go against Bill.
I'll probably go New England, and then secondly, it's a quarterback that can run. It's always an adventure with us.
Yeah.
Quarterback with legs. Fun times. Kansas City, Denver. For me, this is quick. The Chiefs.
Yep.
It's a matter about how much. And this is not a knock on Denver at all. If you hadn't heard, they got Le'Veon Bell to essentially come. I want to make sure you guys hear this correctly. They got Le'Veon Bell to essentially come spell Clyde Edwards because they're not taking that kid out. I hope you guys understand that. That's RB1 for them. Le'Veon's just here for fun stuff and because he's a good player. And if you were going to take Clyde out, Levy's not a bad guy to take him out for.
Right.
Also, you can play them together because when you go empty, they both can be corners and linebackers and stuff, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
And Andy Reid gets to drop even more types of wild screens. Yeah, have fun with that. Good job, folks, giving Andy Reid another running back that can do everything. You guys are outstanding. Wonderful. You let Clyde sit down to the end of the first round, and I'm sitting there. I was just like, he's going to Kansas City.
Right. I think everybody did the same thing. They knew it, man. It was just like you say, he was sitting there, and it's just like.
And I'm sitting in the crazy part for me, I'm watching them slide, right? And I'm like, y'all claim this is a passing league, but my man's still here. Y'all keep telling me it's a passing league. You keep talking about how it would be nice to have these 3 down backs that you can isolate on the outside. And he lasted 30-something? What are y'all on?
Right.
Oh, by the way, here's Le'Veon Bell, who's also pretty good at this. Tampa Bay and Las Vegas. I think that might be a shootout.
I actually think so too. I think it actually might be a shootout. I'm gonna take Las Vegas on this though. I'm riding with Carr.
I'm actually kind of going with you just because Tampa Bay's defense is uber athletic, but so is Vegas pass catchers.
Yeah.
Like those aren't normal things that like
No.
if Tampa Bay has some like other level athletes defensively, which they do in their linebacking core and outside,
Right.
the corners are good. Hey, somebody got to chase a 4-1 running dude like Ruckus can go.
Yeah.
And then you got to find a tight end who's a couple steps slower.
Right.
No,
And that's not fair.
No, and it's not. So that's the thing is, do you want to blitz? And if those guys just get the ball, you got to catch them. Like the Packers thing. It just just bombs away. I feel like, and that's all I feel like Vegas be on anyways. Be like, nothing's working. Let's throw it deep.
Right.
Let's take a shot here.
Toys.
Like toys everywhere. And then Tampa Bay got weaponry too. I just think like Vegas has enough weapons where they should be able to deal with some of Tampa Bay's defense is what just because they're not scared to attack. Like some teams play Tampa Bay, you're so worried about just getting the playoff and making sure your quarterback's on time. Where Vegas has shown us already, beating the Chiefs, they don't care. They just don't care.
They don't.
That's the best way to be.
I'm kind of shocked that I even picked the Raiders because it's the Raiders.
Yeah.
But like I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, they got a lot of toys, man. If you get the David Carter shows up like he did last week before last, then they're gonna win that game. They're gonna win that game.
They got a really special running back who's like a couple years away from this same type of production. And Justin loves Josh Jacobs. If he was here right now, he would be singing his praises. They got a very special running back. You got an elite tight end. And you have an elite speed guy outside who's more than just a speed guy in Ruggs. That's a good young wide receiver. Carr just got to get the ball up. That's it.
That's it.
And it's not like their O-line's horrible either. They just got to get the ball up. So
it's smart decisions. It's getting the ball out quick to those guys, hitting them where you're supposed to hit them, man. You got to play smart football. It's real simple for Carr. Like they got everything that you need right now.
Yeah.
All you have to do is take care of it. That's it.
No, you're right. Like we were just talking about with some of the other guys, you just got to execute, man. That's it. Like there's nothing but weaponry. And for those quarterbacks in those situations, you don't got to be super special, man. You just have to literally, as corny as it sounds, you just got to do your job. They're not asking, you just have to get the ball to the superhumans.
Right.
If you do that, I don't care if the ball's in the air for 50 yards or for -2. Get the ball in their hands, and you can let other people argue about the importance or the distance of your pass.
Right.
Somebody want to argue that 5-yard pass behind a lot of scrimmage? Tell them I went 5 for 5, champ.
Right. Have you seen my percentage? I'm good.
My completion percentage? Fire. Two of the 5 went for tutties. I'm out here.
Right.
You threw 35 times, completed 9 passes, and had less yards than me. So,
just get the ball to him. That's all you got to do.
All right, we got a fun one here. We got your Bears taking on your man Herbert. Oh, no, we're taking on the Rams. I'm sorry. Golf. Trubisky, same field, same building. Let's say now.
Here you go. Maserati.
Now, look, man, this comes down to what it is against any team that plays LA. If you can keep Aaron Donald off your quarterback, you got a chance. All right. That's half of it. Secondly, don't throw at number 20. Cool.
Right. So
stay alive, don't throw at Jalen.
So with that being said, well, first off, who are you picking?
Who am I picking in this one? Whew. I'm gonna go with Chicago because Khalil gonna be back there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you have.
Also, real quick, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the stuff that San Fran did to the Rams, right?
Yeah.
That you guys see some of them plays to deal with Khalil.
So if they paid attention, they should be able to do the same, right?
If they paid attention.
If they paid attention, they should have been able to, they should be able to do the same. Because like that line is starting to wake up now, man. The defense is, I think they starting to feel themselves for real. They know, like I said, talked about before, yards, whatever, that's fine. Don't give up touchdowns. You don't give up touchdowns, I'm gonna be fine because the defensive line is gonna start eating. Like I'm starting to see guys are starting to get healthy, and you can see the difference in Khalil Mack right now. He looks different than what he did week 1 and week 2. He looks different right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is going to be a deciding factor. But like you said, you got to keep Aaron Donald. You got to keep him away from man.
He got.
That's hard.
The thing is, he mad. It was a clean sheet last week.
Yeah,
he's mad. He went 4 quarters without a sack.
Why you have to? I'm saying, man, like really?
He's big mad.
That's how y'all gonna deliver him to us?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Hey, look, run away from him.
Right.
Call a play. If it happens to go his direction, yes, switch the play.
You switch the play. I mean, well, I got Chicago in this game. I can't pick against my Bears unless it's just the right thing to do. And I think this is an opportunity for the Bears right now to go ahead and take another dub. But Nagy is really going to be key in this game and what he does with that clipboard. And, if he is disciplined enough to stick with the run, even though that's going to be hard to do with Aaron Donald right there. But you got to
– No, see, look, actually, no, it's not. This is the thing with the Rams. No, it's not.
But our offensive line is terrible on the run.
And listen, they're even worse against the run. It's fine. Like, this is the thing with them. Don't give him pass rush attempts. He don't even want to do the other stuff. There's a lot of times in a run game, he'll take himself out to play because my man is only thinking about sacks.
Yeah.
Just let him do that. It's fine. If he wants to jump a gap,
let him jump a gap.
Make sure he jumps. But what you're not going to do, he's not going to jump that gap if you're dropping back.
Yeah.
He doesn't guess wrong in those situations.
So
and
I guess
they play soft on the back end. So like my biggest thing would be like it's real weird. They play more like our defense played last year. Where they let the 4 go, they don't blitz much. And if they do blitz, it's usually a linebacker.
The linebackers are blitzing, right.
Because they got your boy over there, Floyd, over there now.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's usually just the front 4 and they just drop. Even with Jalen, they just drop. And one of the things they do is they take Jalen, they'll slide Jalen inside on 3rd down.
Yeah.
Just to mix stuff up or whatever, take some things away. Because obviously on 3rd, usually the ball needs to come out. It's even more imperative. Ball comes out of the time, things like that. You put him in the mix of things, you're kind of likely to hitch a couple times and not really, do I really want to do that? The other thing that I kind of like doing in y'all's favor is Nick doesn't care. Like y'all, unlike us, y'all will take them shots deep.
Yeah.
And there'll be opportunities. It's just taking what's there. Like they don't defend the run well. They're horrible against the run. It's just that people don't stick with it long enough. They always feel like, we got to drop back and get it out quick. Nah, just run. Just run the ball.
But that's the problem. Nagy doesn't stick with the run. He doesn't have that in him to stick with the run. He admitted it at the end of the season last year that he has to be better with sticking with the run, and he hasn't done it this year. Like I said, David Montgomery, I don't think is a bad back. I don't think he has the opportunity. I don't think he's getting enough opportunity. And I know you can look at the box score. You can look and say, well, he touched the ball 18, 20 times. He needs 20 to 25 touches, man. That's how it's going to work for him. That is going to take him a minute to get there, but that's how it works for him. But you have to be able to call those plays at the right time, and he's not doing it. And so your offensive line is not getting those reps in game for that push that they need. You know what I'm saying? And short yard situation 3rd and 2. You tell me right now that you trust your offensive line enough to run that ball? Absolutely not. You don't, because you're always throwing it. 3rd and 2 is always a pass play down the field. Period.
I got you. So they only got enough live reps running that thing to.
It shows. It shows. And I get what you're saying. The run defense for the Rams, I get it. I feel that. Smart.
No. Look,
run the ball.
Look, but at the same time, I understand what you're saying. Like, if you don't actively do it,
then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I got you. I definitely got you. The other thing to be interested in that one is just the back end staying disciplined. It's like, you're playing, what are them two coordinators, man? They throw so much window dressing at you, be 19 people in motion for no reason, for like a 3-yard pass, things like that. The deep crosses with Robert Woods, he always got one of those cooked up. And then the biggest thing for them, like especially with golf, you want to make sure it's at least 3rd and 6. You never want them, because they always want to be on schedule. Both of them teams, San Fran and LA. Yeah. LA almost has to be, for the most part. You want them to. They want to be like third and less than 5 most of the time, right. Because they don't want to have to throw it, because they got so many other different ways to run the ball to get 5 yards and things like that. You put them in 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 is obvious passing downs. You said, man, golf, you get any type of pressure there, man, he don't even want to be there. The ball just come out, get away, And that's the thing, Khalil can get pressure. And the other thing is going to be better is for you guys, if y'all could take over this game, your interior guys defensively, if they can get enough push, you'll create like 3-4 turnovers.
And we've actually been seeing that over the last couple of weeks, creating turnovers in the secondary. But I want to see it more up front now. Like we got to get that push now, because I feel like the secondary has been doing a pretty decent job without getting, because they're not getting a whole lot of pressure. It's not a whole lot of pressure, but now you can start to see things starting to pick up a little bit. So I think you're going to start to see more turnovers created by the Bears, because that's what we do. That's what the Chicago defense has always been built around. Defense, turnovers, run the ball. But we just not running the ball. That's the only thing.
All right, we got go get it. It's all about the Bears taking a dub. We shall see. So, Rob, you got one person on your side.
Appreciate it. Salute.
We'll see, man. I don't trust nobody about that. We'll see. But I want to thank y'all for hanging with us this week, man. Next week we'll be back. Should at least have Justin back. I won't have to talk nearly as much. Justin and Rob could talk. I can go back over here and sip on my ginger ale quietly and being unbothered the way that I would like. Hopefully there's not too much to talk about. At least for me personally, I want nothing bad, man. Cam might put up 200 and 200 or something. Who knows?
Man, you never know what's gonna happen in this 2020 season, man. Everything is up in the air, bro.
You know what I can count on?
What?
Somebody on our team is gonna hurt an ankle.
That has definitely been like the staple in y'all's team right now is injuries. I guess
running the ball and death by high ankle sprains.
He's right. Touchdown! Oh, another guy's down.
What's that? An ankle? They're out 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
What happened to it? Just found out this week. D Ford and Sherm earliest they'll be back as week 12. They ain't playing this year.
Oh, it's over with. Yeah, Sherm especially. Sherm like, man, what? What?
Man, and it's the other thing. If I'm Sherm, look, bro, it's free agency year. I do my own deals. Man, I ain't coming back.
Yeah.
I'll be real honest with that. I ain't coming back.
Why? Why would you?
I ain't messing up my money. Come out here after bad tape for what? Ain't no pass rush. I ain't coming back here.
Right. I'll wait. Thank you, though. Appreciate you.
We had a great time.
Right. It's a good ride, fellas. Drop y'all right here, please.
We almost got that.
Right.
See you next year. You guys have fun. See you pregame one of these times. But now, man, again, you guys, just again, thanks for hanging with us this week. Don't forget, comment, interact with us during the show. I will see the comments while other people are talking. So just give us a heads up. We'll see you guys next week. For Rob Wilson, again, next week we should have Justin and Jesse back, I believe. Bye.